Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Wärtsilä Energy Transition Lab. Today, coming to you together with my friend and colleague Matti Rautkivi, and also guested by Jukka Ruusunen from Fingrid, the Finnish TSO. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thanks, Björn.
Why don't we get right into it here? Matti, could you bring us up to speed on what's happened in the last week and what kind of observations we have this time?
Well, yeah, certainly the last week once again really interesting in the middle of Europe, and if we look once again our favorite country, Germany, in that sense that what has happened there, but you can see it here at the end of the period. There was a couple of days when it was really windy and actually sunny also. It was same thing in Germany, UK, Ireland, across continental Europe. And we have been talking, Björn, about these renewable levels, and I think we hit the new record now in Germany on Tuesday last week, 78% renewables. So once again, now what we have been talking, that more renewables coming, and it seems to be that now these days when wind is blowing hard and sun is shining are there together with the low demand. And same thing happened that last time that when we hit 78% or this kind of above 70 euros per megawatt hour once again this week. So the prices in Germany and across Europe hit negative. So the price volatility keeps going, and high share of renewables we see apparently every week now.
Right. Jukka, welcome to the show, and coming at this from a transmission operator point of view, what are your observations in the last couple of weeks looking at this data here?
I think that it's many things are happening across Europe. Of course, what I'm following most closely is the Nordic situation, where we have very sort of a lot of wind, a lot of hydro, so a lot of renewables as well. And price development is quite strange. You can say that very low prices in Norway, in Sweden, higher prices in Finland because there's not enough transmission capacity to equal the prices, and then also pretty much the same phenomena that are taking place in Germany and in Central Europe. Not so low negative prices because there is still some controllability in the hydropower, but anyway, this is now the period where wind is sort of driving the prices.
It's interesting to see. We noted that last week also. If you have a high share of renewable but not a lot of flexibility in your system, prices are going to be more volatile and run into negative territory. What sort of concerns do you have, or looking at the Nordic or European grid level? What kind of thoughts does this trigger in you?
Of course, we rely that the price is sort of balancing supply and demand all the time, and then if sort of the either side is not following the price, it's more difficult for the transmission system operators to balance supply and demand, which is anyway the law of physics. So it doesn't give up. So this is what we have to do, and in these kind of situations we are sort of in the oversupply situation, and in winter time we discuss whether we have enough electricity, and now we discuss whether we have too much electricity. But to me it means that we just have to keep on developing the market and improving cross-border trade, because then we don't have to look at the countries separately, but the bigger the market, the better. And then the more the players are following market signals, like now you could ask why are people generating with negative prices and huge negative prices. So the generation is not directly following what's going on in the market, and that's why also going for the future and developing, if there are any subsidies, so it should follow the market prices, and then there would be sort of automatic control of generation via the price levels. And the other side, of course, is the demand that now it's a good time to use electricity if you have any appliances that can use it with very cheap prices.
Fascinating. So basically, we're looking at a situation here where the market transparency is of course very high in a system like Europe, and where the bigger the market is, better, you said, and
Yes.
looking at this then down the line, looking at the future here, maybe a comment from you, Matti, on this topic also. What do we see here in terms of potential development?
Well, I to Jukka's comment about the negative prices and the price signals is something interesting that now if we have looked at German prices where we see massive actually and last week once again massive export of energy when it was windy. I think the maximum was around 14 gigawatts what they were pushing out from Germany, and still the prices are then heavily negative. So in the longer term, that we will see this kind of development. We see more wind coming to the system, more solar coming to the systems, and more price volatility in general. So my question is that for how long we need to see this kind of a negative price environment, for example, before then more and more capacity will leave the market, because as Jukka said that there is now too much supply. But at the same time, the negative price is an indication that somebody's not following the clear instructions or logical instructions. So I think that interesting to see that if this kind of environment would continue, or there is a high renewable future that this type of capacity will not necessarily survive in the market environment like this.
How do you see that then, Jukka, looking at the price signals here? And like you said, like the laws of physics, in such a transparent system, you have the laws of supply and demand as well. Looking at these price signals, high volatility, negative prices, the weather surely is also a factor here coming in on top of the COVID situation. What kind of learnings can we take from this as an energy system?
At least I would ask, if I would be a wind power producer, I mean, I would ask the question, why should I generate when the price is negative and I have to pay in order to get into the market and sell my electricity? So, and at least when I discuss here in Finland with the wind power producers, they say that it's easy to control wind power. So why are they generating? It's perhaps then the subsidy system or somebody is sort of helping them to stay in the market for those hours, because it doesn't mean that they disappear, but just stop for a couple of hours. This is one part of it. And of course then you can ask that also for hydropower here in the north, but then it's not fully controllable, and that's why you have to take some of the burden to yourself. If you look at the southern part of Norway, for example, that has been a very low price for quite a long period of time, and in those situations it's difficult for the generators to earn money.
Right. Looking at then the business case angle of this, what sort of implications do you think it might have down the line, Jukka or Matti?
If we talk about electrification, this is a good situation, because there is now enough clean electricity which you can use to electrify the system, and then perhaps even get more flexibility from demand when you have sort of more this kind of demand that could be controlled. So the flexibility is both in generation, in demand, and then via bigger market, of course. But this is a good test, because now the demand is lower, and sort of relatively we have now more capacity of renewable generation. So this is a learning phase, I think.
Well, I would ask actually Jukka about that now that we have relative share of renewable is like almost 50%, and we see those kind of days 70%, and there has been an argument against the energy transition all the time that the grid can't handle this or the system can't handle, but apparently the system can handle now at this point pretty well the situation. Yes, we see negative prices, we see those kind of implications, but the actual grid is working well across the Europe.
It's true, but also when we are sort of looking forward, so we need stronger connections between countries, and so that we can keep we can utilize all the capacity, transmission capacity that we have in place, and that the electricity could flow freely within the EU in the future, which is very important for all the countries. So no country can survive this transition alone.
That's a nice observation. I think that that argument can be made for many things, not just electricity grid and power system. So, thanks a lot, Jukka, for your great insights. Thank you, Matti, again, and we'll see you again soon on this channel. And don't forget to join the conversation and reach out if you want to join the broadcast. Thank you, and have a nice day.